What's up, guys? Welcome back to today's video. And in today's video, this is going to be the start of a new segment called Who Wins. This is, I don't know, there may be a few segments out there called this, but this is going to be our variation of it. And the first fight we're going to be taking a look at is the highly anticipated rematch next month at UFC 312, Dricus Du Plessis versus Sean Strickland. Number two, the first fight, if you remember, took place last year at UFC 297 in Canada. Sean losing his middleweight title by split decision in a very, very, very close fight, one that I had Sean winning. So we're going to look at back. We're going to look back at that first fight and then look ahead to next month in Sydney, February 8th, I believe. So let's have a look at this first fight. So this first fight is pretty easy to see, right? So here we have the total number of strikes. Now, say what you think, say what you want about the fight, but you can't. One thing that you can't say about it is the numbers in this fight. Numbers don't lie. The total amount of strikes you can see there: Sean Strickland 173 of 408, Dricus Du Plessis 137 of 354. So Sean slightly higher in his percentage as well. Um, that was significant strikes. His total strikes 183 out of 419, and Dricus is 140 of 358. So, obviously a fight you can't just pick it on numbers purely, but these are pretty telling, I think. Depending on how you had this fight going. If we look at the round, even the round per strikes landed and attempted. Um, I did have Sean winning 1, 3, and 5, and I had Dricus winning 2 and 4. I thought 2 and 4 are definitely the closest rounds, as you can see here. Well, 1, 3, and 4 were very close. Even just on the striking numbers, 31 of 87 for Sean, 29 of 84 for Dricus. Round four, 33 of 85 for Sean, 29 of 73 for Dricus. So it was definitely a close few rounds there. I did think that Sean opened up better, and a lot of these numbers do represent what I'm sort of saying in regards to that first fight. Sean had 34 of 75, 45% success rate. Had a bit higher of an output than Dricus. Dricus sort of started to get going. In the second, came back in the fourth. I think the judges that would have scored it would have had him for 2, 3, and 4, which is fair enough as well. That third round was extremely close. It was a pick 'em round, so I thought Sean had done enough though. That round five, especially, I think Sean looked better in the fifth round as well. He definitely capped off the win, which maybe can lead people to believe that he won the fight just purely based off how he finished it. But obviously the judges saw it. Where is it here? Sal D'Amato 48-47 for Sean. Derek Clearly 47-48 for Dricus, and Eric Cologne 47-48 for Dricus as well.
G'day guys, Josh here for From the Stands. And I'm just here to interrupt this video quickly to let you guys know about the sponsor of today's video, TrainAid. TrainAid and their proven line of supplements, including their signature product, TrainAid Hydration, are used by combat sports stars all over the world. Many UFC and boxing world champions are all using TrainAid to help fuel their workouts. TrainAid have been kind enough to give us a big discount code for all of our viewers to use when you guys shop online. If you use the code FTS15 at checkout, you'll receive 15% off all supplements and apparel on the TrainAid website. Head to trainaid.com or click the link in the description of this video.
This is a really interesting matchup, and I'm really looking forward to this rematch next month. If we look at Dricus's record, I mean, you got to give credit to the guy out. The resume he's got. Look at the top three names. Finish Israel Adesanya, finish of split decision of Sean Strickland, and a finish of Robert Whittaker. Just having those three names alone on your resume is incredible. The fact that he finished Izzy and Rob is mind blowing, considering what was said about Dricus a few years ago, that he had no cardio. He has had this odd style that somehow kept working and kept racking up these wins. It's amazing to see what he's done um, since since really the Darren Till fight. I think that's really when he broke through. Beat a guy in Darren Till and then Derek Brunson, and then the sort of the last five fights. So if he can get through Sean again, it'd be a massive feather in his cap. But look at Sean's resume. So obviously he's fought the who's who. I mean, he's been in the UFC for years. Been in the UFC since 2014, so over 10 years. This will be his 11th year in the UFC. Um, I mean, the guys he's fought is incredible. Has a loss there to Kamaru Usman back when he was fighting at welterweight. But if you the Alex Pereira fight, tough one. They became friends. Cannonier, close fight. I did have Cannonier winning that fight. He Sean obviously didn't agree with it. Was pretty vocal and thought he won the fight. I did think Jared had done enough in that fight. Beat Izzy, lost to Dricus, and then hasn't fought since June last year. Beat Paulo Costa by split decision. That was a pretty dominant. I don't know how he got a split. I thought he did more than a split decision. He earned more than a split decision, in my opinion. I think he outclassed Paulo Costa. I forgot that was a split decision actually, but his performance in Sydney at UFC 293 was just one of the most incredible title fights, title winning performances you'll ever see. And to be there live was another thing as well. Being able to cover that fight and watch that fight in the crowd was truly historic. So the fact that the rematch of 312 takes place at the same place that Sean won his first middleweight title is pretty incredible, and I think it does hold some significance in a sense that I know they say lightning doesn't strike twice, but I feel like Sean's going to come into this as a big fan favorite. He was heavily cheered when he was in Sydney last time against Izzy. That was because I think a lot of people disliked Izzy at the time. A lot of Australians tend to, dislike Izzy or for what happened with Whitaker and all these sort of things. But that's obviously changed now. This was a couple of years ago, but Sean is such a heavy fan favorite down under here in Australia that I don't think Dricus will have the same support that he did in Perth. When he fought in Perth, it was nearly a home game for him. He had the Springboks playing, the South African national rugby team were playing the night before UFC 305. There was a lot of South Africans in town. He had a pretty good. It was pretty 50-50 in terms of who people were cheering for. It was it was yeah, pretty even in that regard. This time around, I think Sean's going to be a heavy fan favorite. It'll be interesting to see fight week how he's received in Sydney. I think it'll be much the same as it was last time. But I think as well, obviously both guys have extremely smart coaches. Dricus Du Plessis, his head coach Mornay Visser, and Sean Strickland's head coach Eric Nixick. Now we had Eric on the other day. I hope to get Mornay on in the next coming weeks. If not, we'll be catching up with him in Sydney during the UFC 312 fight week. But I just, when you have a rematch that goes 5 rounds, obviously both coaches are going to have a lot more footage to play off and tendencies they can pick up on. Dricus has fought, once? Fought Israel. So he's fought once. They both fought once since they fought each other. There's a lot of tape to go off, and I feel like everyone doubts Dricus. I feel like everyone has always doubted Dricus, and you see him when he went up against Whitaker. No one thought he was going to win. He finishes Robert Whitaker. Fights Sean Strickland. Everyone, people think would be a close fight, but I think the majority of fans would be leaning towards Sean Strickland in that first fight. Either way, Dricus comes out and puts on a performance worthy of getting a nod from the judges, and then goes out and submits Israel Adesanya. He just has this weird, odd style. Like Izzy said, talking to Rob Whitaker the other day, Izzy had him on the ground and Dricus just threw robot arms and caught Izzy's rhythm off, and it made Izzy have to readjust what he was doing. It's just those little things that he does are so odd and so weird. But then you fight a guy like Sean Strickland, who's just as odd and just as weird. He just walks forward. He's a pressure fighter. He doesn't stop. All he does is spar. Um, all he does is spar, in my opinion, I think Sean Strickland will walk away as a winner in this fight in a close decision. I think it'll be much the same as what it was last time, back and forth war. I don't see either man either man getting finished. I just think they're just too tough and too durable to get finished. Yeah. Sean doesn't really have the finishing capabilities, like Eric Nixick said to me, to us last weekend. Dricus has the finishing capabilities, but I think Sean's defense and head movement's so good. He can defend those takedowns. Israel couldn't, so Sean can. I just think it'll be a war like it was last time at 297. This time though, I just think Sean may just do enough to walk away as the winner. It's going to be interesting to see, but I'm picking Sean Strickland to beat Dricus Du Plessis at UFC 312 next month, um, purely based off of how the first fight went. Yeah, these are things we never know. Dricus could go out there and starch Sean Strickland in a couple of rounds, and I'll sit here and eat my words. But as it stands right now, I think Sean has the tools in the tool belt to beat Dricus. Um, it'll be interesting to see how Team Strickland implement that game plan that Eric was talking about that they didn't do. He said they worried too much about fighting not to lose as opposed to fighting to win. He was trying to be too comfortable and trying to be too safe with his movements and each round he was just trying to be safe. He wasn't trying to press the action and get Dricus out of there, or at least make Dricus wilt or make him submit to Sean and his pace. So I think this time around they've recognised that, and I do think Sean will walk away as the victor at the UFC 312. But let me know what you guys think. I'd love to know who you're picking for this fight. If you're picking Dricus Du Plessis, let me know. If you're picking Sean Strickland, let us know. And give us your thoughts on how you think this fight is either finished or won by each man. Guys, thank you so much for checking this video out. We'll be doing many more segments of these who wins segments in the coming weeks and coming months. So please stick around and check them out. If you can, please like and subscribe and comment if you can. All that sort of stuff helps out our videos and pushes it up the algorithm. So until next time, guys, thank you so much for checking this out, and I will see you then.